Yeah, I was just reading over the debate in January 2003 in the Oireachtas in advance of the Gulf War, when Brian Cowan got up and defended what we now know to be an absolute pack of lies told by the US government, US military intelligence, British government, British military intelligence about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq that didn't exist, but that Brian Cowan and others said there was a real danger, they existed, something had to be done, and the consequences of this were absolutely devastating for Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist except in dodgy dossiers and lies told by the United States and Britain primarily led to the massacre of hundreds of thousands of people and the devastation of Iraq. Okay? And here we have the government today doing exactly the same thing in a completely one-sided assessment of military intelligence provided by the United States and Britain primarily about the threat of imminent war from Russia. No critical assessment. You know, as I've said to Minister Coveney, I think Putin is a thug, he's a militarist, he's done horrific things in Chechnya. You're happy to talk about his threat, but not about the record of the United States, Britain, NATO, what their agenda is, not a word of criticism. That's why I don't trust this report, I don't trust the agenda behind it, I don't trust Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael with our military neutrality, because actually they have trashed it. They have trashed it. They have allowed us to be complicit with the slaughter of innocent people in Iraq, and with devastating consequences for the Middle East. So I do not trust this. And I mean, you know, it's fairly ironic that we are talking about fighter jets and the need to defend ourselves and treble, you know, 500 million extra, or is it 2 billion extra, which is what NATO wants, which is what the militarists in the European Union want us to do it. You want to go along with that. But then when it actually comes to paying the soldiers who might be sent out to die in these situations, the vast majority of them on less than the average industrial wage. The EU Working Time Directive doesn't apply for them, so they have to work overtime for free. The housing that they used to get, they don't get anymore, and they're affected by the housing crisis and so on. So why don't you pay the soldiers? If you have so much respect for the Defence Forces, pay the soldiers decent money. That's why I mean, it's a joke. You're going to have all these new ships and planes, and you can't even have the number of defence forces that we need because the paying conditions are so rubbish. So pay the defence forces properly, let them be affiliated to the Irish Congress and trade unions, but stop trashing Irish military neutrality and actually restore it, and stop signing up with warmongers. Whether it's NATO, the US, or for that matter, Russia, neutrality means neutrality.